Hey Stampers, Gaynor again. I had a request today off, well, you won't see this for a couple of weeks, but I'm terrible. I always film up front because if ever I went away, I'd hate to leave you with nothing. So I do record several times a day, and I also make sure that if I do go on holiday, you've still got a video to watch every night. So that's my super plan. So, right, the request today was from the gorgeous Carla. I love her to bits. And she asked me if I could make a box substantial enough for 82 cards, which is 4.5 by 5.5 by 4.25 with their envelopes, maybe even a cello bag. I don't know. I've got mine in cello bags, but we call them C2 cards, which is exactly the same. They all fit inside a standard envelope, which is well, I'll show you. Well, I'll show you the box. So the box is 3 inches wide. The lid is 3 inches by 2 inches by obviously 2, 3 and all that, but I've done it so it comes off like this and it holds. I've got 20 cards in there plus dividers, which I've got January and then all the names of my family in there. I haven't got no birthdays in February, so I skipped through to March, and then June and May, June and October, because I'm going to make another one, so I'll have a box enough for the whole year. So it's got a beautiful lid on. I've run out of DSP, so I had to patch that up. So I'm just going to squidge that up so you can't see my line. And so we've got a little cutout piece. I might do it a little bit deeper so you can see in a little bit better. And I've only added DSP up to here because once the lid's on, you can't see it anyway, but it's all the way at the back. You don't even have to decorate the back if it's going to sit on a shelf. But you know me, and I didn't have enough DSP, believe it or not, to do that, because I only had one sheet left of that. So that's all gone now. I don't have hardly anything from this range anymore, and I'm not going to buy any more because they'll probably be gone in June anyway. Oh, Mr. Boyce has just fetched me a gorgeous fresh cup of coffee, so I'm just about to have a swig. I love it. And it really is, there is a seam in there, but the rest is underneath. And you're going to think, how's that like that? Look at me, I've got glue on my fingers. I'm peeling. But it's just the way it has to go, I'm afraid. But if I take all the cards out, they're not even sealed, these cards are, because they always go off the chart. I did try. You can see a little bit of seaming in the bottom. The next one I'm going to make is going to have no seams inside, apart from this one up the side. So I'll show you that one as well. But yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gosh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 cards, and them inset cards in here. Probably squeeze maybe another 3 or 4, but I don't want to bulk the box out too much. But like I say, just make 2 and do 6 months in one box and 6 months in another. So, and then you can add your cards to however many people you've got written on the inside of the card. Add the cards then into each section and then move along to the next one. So I'm going to show you how I made it. It is a bit of a, you're going to wonder why I'm going eek and doing all this, but trust me, you're going to need 3 sheets of thick, very thick cardstock, and mine's 300 GSM. This one is 8 by 11 3/4. So, oh, if you're American now, I'm going to do this for you. Right, well, you would need this at 8 by 11 then. You can get away with the 11. Because I'm putting a 1 3/4 inch seam on one side, so you would have an inch one on your side, not 1 3/4. So perfect. And you would still score them both at 3 and 10. We'll get to that in a minute. Then you're going to need another piece, which is 6.5. Again, it will be 11 for you. So you'll have an inch. Again, we're going to score at 3 and 10, so you'll have an inch on one side. And then the lid is 7 by 11. So your lid size is perfect. I'm going to use the trimmer just to do the scoring, because just for the lid, well, I'm going to might as well use it all now. So on this, you are going to score at 2 inches and pull it out to the 1 15/16. Just pull it, or just before it. You just need to come out a tiny little fraction and score. Spin it 2 inches, pull it out a little bit and score. And just do that all the way around. That way it gives you that slight little bit wider and the lid fits perfect. So again, 2 and pull it out just a fraction. And 2 and just a fraction. So that's all you're going to need to do for your lid. So I'm going to swap now to the scoreboard, because you've got to, I know you're scoring 2 of them the same way. So if I come down here, so this is the 6.5 by 11, and you want to score it at 3 and 10. Then you want to turn it so that the small one is on that side, and score this at 1.5. So it's 5. You want to score this at 5 inches. So you've got that pattern. Right, now keep that in front of you so you can see it. Now this is the 8 by 11. 8, well, it's 11 3/4 for us, but 8 and 11 for you in America. Score again at 3 and 10. But this time, spin this one around so the little gap is at the bottom here. The little score line is at the bottom. And score this at 3 inches. It'll all make sense, trust me. Oh, we'll get there in the end, girls. We'll get there in the end. So, I'm just going to burnish my score lines. And you'll all be looking at me confused in a minute, thinking, what the hell's going on? But it will work out. No one's going to see the bottom of your box. You're probably going to have one seam on the inside, and that's it. So burnish the other side. What we're going to do, well, I've got that burnish, we're going to trim up to the score line and notch it a little bit. Scissors are humongous. Oh, look at that, I'm getting all tangled. So come up to the corner. I've gone a little bit further than the corner there, so try not to. Let me just nick that little bit off. There we go. And then just trim out on that corner and snip some of that off. You don't need all of that. Again, this side. Got the score line and notch in. Notch on the outside as well. And if you want to, you can trim a little bit of that off. So that's what you're looking for with the big piece. Right, now the little piece, we don't need the large scissors for this. Swig of me coffee. Nom nom nom, beautiful. Again, burnish the score lines. This is the only way I could work it out without getting 13 by 13 cardstock, which we don't have. I have A4, which is 16, 22, right there. It's 16.5 inches, but you can't get, unless you buy A3 cardstock. Again, I'm going to snip up to the score line and notch off. You don't need to trim any of this off because you've cut it down. And this side, this is, if you're in America now, you have a 1 inch there. If you're in the UK, you'll have 1 3/4. That's if you want to make it like that. You can just cut it all down to 11 if you want, and remove those notches. And on the lid, just gonna go up and notch on both sides. Bless her, she said I need it to hold about 24 cards, so I did do one. I always do a sample one. This one. Bit crude, I know, I've just gouged in afterwards instead of, but this is only 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And it doesn't hold, only holds about 15 cards. So I had to do my pal justice by getting us at least 20 odd cards up there. So I am doing my best. And the only reason I did 2 inches on the side was because you don't need 3 inches coming down the side of the box. Perhaps there is another way to do this, I don't know, but this is my way. If anyone out there can suss it, please can you give me the instructions. I'm not a birthday, I do give birthday cards all the time, but I'm not one of these that'll make loads and store them in a box, but I think I might just start doing that because I've got a head like a sieve. So if I write everyone's down, puts their card in ready, and I've got somewhere to store it. So give that a burnish now. A little nick of paper there where I've not quite got it all. And we're not going to glue anything together yet. Well, with box we are, but we're not going to put it all together for a minute, as we're going to decorate as well. As you can see, I used the lovely lipstick foil sheets and then the designer series paper, and I only did the tiniest of border, and I thought, all right, this time I'm going to do proper ones and do 1/4 inch borders. And look at the result. This is for the lid. Now I can see all that gorgeous foiled card, and I'm using, and I've got a 1/4 inch border all the way around my white as well. Beautiful. So you can attach all these pieces now, and we'll get to the box, the confusing part, in a minute. It's just the way it is, but it does come together and it does make a sturdy box. So the pieces you'll need for your designer series paper are, for the lid, you will need your layers to be 2 3/4 by 6 3/4, and the DSP is 2 1/2 by 6 1/2. You will need 2 pieces then for the sides. These are called the long sides, and they're 1 3/4 by 6 3/4, and the DSP is 1 1/2 by 6 1/2, and you want 2. And then the 2 short sides, you'll want these at 1 3/4 by 2 3/4, and the DSP 2 1/2 by 1 1/2, and you'll need 2 of those as well. And for the box itself, you will need 1 at 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, DSP 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. You'll need 1 at 3 3/4 by 6 3/4, DSP 3 1/2 by 6 1/2, and you'll need 2 for the sides. And these are, where am I now? 4 3/4 by 2 3/4, and the DSP 4 1/2 by 2 1/2. Ooh, is a mouthful. So I'm just going to glue these on now into place when it doesn't want to go jump about in my hand. Do you ever find that, ladies? The older you get, the more things you drop. I never used to drop anything, and now I drop everything. So give yourself a nice 1/4 inch border, top and bottom, left and right, and all the way round. Just use your bone folder. I did the layering first because there is a lot to do. And it just saves you watching me glue together lots of pieces of paper. So I'm going to stick those on there. Absolutely gorgeous papers. You can use the first piece as a guide now to get your other pieces on. Just absolutely beautiful. I mean, you don't have to use mega thick cardstock like this if you don't want it. I just think if it's going to be holding a lot of cards and you're going to be picking it up on down off a shelf, then you definitely need something a bit sturdier. But that's my method to my madness. Because I'm crazy. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Just beautiful. Look at the light on them. And our last two pieces now. You can do this while the box is made. I did with the other one, but I find it a lot easier to attach these pieces while they're flat. And we've all made boxes 1,000 times, so this one is just, I searched all over YouTube for one this size. I couldn't find one. So me and my math head had to get together and work it out. So there's all the pieces for our lid. We can now attach glue and pop this together. I love this glue, it's mega strong. You could add both tear and tape and glue if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. And as you do, just pop them up to the corners. Give them a good squeeze, making sure they're nice and straight. Pop your other side in. Absolutely love this. And just give them a press down. I mean, if you want, you can trim a little bit off these as well. I'll just show you that as well, because you only need a little bit to grip on the side. So you could even cut half of that off and half of that off if you wanted to, because this will still hold your lid shut. Definitely. And then this side. And I'll show you the difference in a minute when we go inside. Just fold them both over, attach your sides. I have so much confidence in this glue. Now look inside. They're not overlapping. They're not overlapping like that side. So if you just want a bit less bulk, just trim them down. But they are so secure. And there is that gorgeous lid. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely stunning. Love it. So I'll pop that to one side. I'm going to put the lid on my glue just for a minute. Oh no, I'm not, because we're going to be gluing in a minute. So what you need to do now is take this. If you're American, you'll have a 1-inch tab. This is our 1 3/4, and I'm going to pop that right next close to that, and I'm going to glue that together. I'm just wondering whether I need that or not. Don't quote me yet. So I'm just going to glue all the way down there. Got to make sure it's all lined up perfectly. And all our flaps are going to be on the outside of the box at the bottom, so you've got a flat surface on the in. So just fold that over, line that up, Make sure your score lines and the top of your card are really close together like that. Whoops. And then you can just push that flap over. I don't think I'm needing that flap at the moment, but it's just trial and error. You know, we never know. That's not going to hurt. And then we're going to do the same on this side. So we're going to glue this. I don't think I need these flaps. So I'm going to remove that. I did it the other way round. I glued the two boxes together, tried to do it inside each other. Wasn't the best thing in the world. So this would be your 1-inch side if you're American. Just give this loads of glue. And our cards are 4 1/8 by 5 7/8, so it's definitely going to fit your 4.5. So making sure this is all level, just fold this flap over now and give it a good burnish. Perfect. So we didn't need those flaps because we've got these. So instead of pushing them in now, you're going to push this one in. And then these are going to get glued on the outside. That way, when you look inside, there is no disturbance. Whoa, did we go out of focus then? I'm sorry. Perfect. So you're going to push that one in. You're going to glue these two sides. Whoops, and then we did it on the top then instead of on the outside. And then you're going to make sure your box is nice and square and fold over your flaps. Just give them a minute. I would literally turn it upside down and just go in with your hand and press. Make sure it's nice and square. You could always cut a 3 by 7-inch piece and glue that onto the bottom so all this is hidden as well. And a bit of extra security. It's entirely up to you. And plenty of glue I'm adding on here. All the way to the sides. All the way down to the score line. And then, again, making sure it's nice and square. Fold that over. Just perfect. Give it just a second, so flip it over again and push down. You can use your bone folder, use your finger, use your hand. And that's the only seam you've got on the inside now, is this one here and that one there. Perfect. So let me have a look and see what I've got in my scraps bin. I've got a piece that long. No. I've got a card here that I could just trim down. I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to just add it for security because there's only that bit there. So give me a second. It's only for my peace of mind. I'm going to cut this out just short of 3. I know it's got a little fold in there, but it doesn't matter. It's going underneath. Oops. And I'm just going to take it just short of 7. And because I've got a little crease in there, I'm just going to straighten that back out with my bone folder because it wasn't a permanent crease. Give that a smooth. Now you can't see it. And I'm going to glue it so it's face down. So this this is additional if you want to add this. You don't have to. Oh, do you know what I've done? I've done it now. I've done the box and I forgot to do the slits in the side. Silly sausage. So because I've cut that just a fraction smaller, oops, that's going to fit nice and snug. Perfect. I'm just going to give that a burnish. Now that's given me extra security now. But you've got nothing on the bottom for anything to get caught on. You could have added all them flaps on the inside. I don't see the point myself because I like a nice smooth inside container. So again, how I got the piece, the little die it cuts out in the centre, I'll show you what I did when I can get my glue lid on. And I've just put the box together without putting the DSP on, so we'll have to do that as well in a minute. But pick a side now, which one you want. You've got a seam here and a seam there, so it doesn't really matter which way around it goes, because, and where it is, I've got the Everyday Labels punch and I use this to do that cutting out. So you just basically go in, line it up and punch, and make sure you do it all the way along so it's perfectly level. Otherwise, if you're like me, I had to keep going back and forth, back and forth. So just keep going along. Oh, see, a little fraction. More or less bit straight. Tiny little bit there. Oh, see, now that's going to do me head in. And I mean, it's like a fraction. Did I get it? Do you think I did? Oh, it's near on. Near on, near on. So again, battery low. I do apologise about that, my battery just died, so it's obviously come a little bit further down, but we've kept pretty much a straight line. And then all you do is follow that line all the way down to there and nip that out. And the same on that side. Now if you want to go a little bit lower, just go back in again and do it again. I'm just going to leave it like that. So where there's a will, there's a way. And now we can start to decorate. So this smaller panel now is going on here. I don't mind that showing because my, oh, let me just show you. Oops. Pulling that little fraction out, lid fits perfectly. Absolutely perfect. So let's get decorating. Should have done this while the box was down, but and then I should have cut that out while it was down, but it doesn't matter. Where there's a will, there's a way. We've all got a punch for that. That's what they say, innit? So add this 1/4 inch border from the top, from the sides and the bottom, so it's nice and even. Give that a nice smooth down. I'm just going to put my bone fold in and rub from the inside. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, loving it. So now for our two side pieces as well. I mean, you don't have to decorate the back, like I was saying, but I think it just sets it all off. If you're going to give it, well, you're going to make the effort to make it look beautiful. Then decorate it all. Again, I'm just going to go in with my bone folder. And then the same on this side. I don't have, I've got stamp sets that say birthday and anniversary, but I think a little bit of good old-fashioned handwriting. You're going to write the cards by hand, so again, just pop that in, give that a burnish. But where there's a will, there's a way to anything, so if I can make a box like this work, I'm sure you can too. Our last panel going in. I do apologise about the battery dying, I thought I would have plenty, because it said 3 bars. Mind you, I did a video this morning as well, so beautiful. Our last piece is going on. This one is going to go all the way to the top. Absolutely beautiful. And for the inserts, they're just basically white card, cut at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then I used this beautiful punch, folded them in half, glued them on. You could leave a little bit sticking up if you want, but you know, look how dirty my lid is. Gosh, to give that a wipe now. I have to get my Swiffer on it. Yeah, let's have a look if it does, because you get all sorts on your punches. If you don't have Swiffer cloths, use a microfiber cloth, work a treat as well. Good enough to see me face in a minute. Beautiful, look at that. There's me. There's me. Yay! Hi. So there's that beautiful box with its lid. Let me grab them cards out. Mine have got cello bags as well, and the envelopes are 4.5 by 6.5, so I know they're going to fit in here, and you've got plenty of space. I've given you an extra 1/2 inch top and down the sides, so definitely fit the US cards as well. Let's get these packed in. And even mine have got cello bags on as well, so I don't think you'd need cello bags if you were sending them. Just lovely. Absolutely gorgeous. And the lid fits beautifully. So I reckon a couple more could go in there, Carla. I reckon you could get 24 in there. Some people have dies that do these file cutouts as well, but yeah, I just added it over, and you can write whose dates are on there. It's entirely up to you. I suppose you could write January, February on the back, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and have them on the reverse. But it depends how many birthday cards you are sending out. So let's pop our lid on. Fits snug as a bug. Just got a little bit that needed. Oh well, just need to tuck that in a little bit more there, but it doesn't matter. And now we're going to add, I've got 2 pieces of stitched ovals. I'm going to glue them together. In fact, I'm going to add dimensionals, but I'm going to write on it first. And I'm going to use my dark black. And I'm just going to rely on my gorgeous handwriting. Not. And just put birthdays and anniversaries on the side. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of here. Peel those off. I'm going to add that to my other stitched. And then I'm going to grab some more dimensionals. Remove those. And add that on there. And I've got some of this beautiful Calypso coral ribbon, which I think goes beautiful with this. And I'm just going to cut off enough to make a nice bow. I'm going to trim that edge off because it's frayed a little bit. And I'm going to grab some of my beautiful tape. And going through the centre, I'm just going to start, in fact I'm just going to come around this corner about 1/2 inch. I'm going to follow the tape all the way around, nice straight line. And come in on the side about 1/2 inch. That's my bone folder. And I can peel this off all in one go because it's really good tape. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold my ribbon in half. Find in the centre, and I know I've added a bit of glue on the front, but fingers crossed I haven't pressed. There we go. And I'm just going to pull this round so it stays secure on the front. And on there, and then I know I've got, it's loose enough then for me to tie a bow. And now I can lay it down. Oops. I'll get Mr. Boyce after, give me a third finger. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Isn't that cute? It is a little bit loose, but oh, it is what it is. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a bit more tape along the front. And that might help. Let me just lay this down. I don't want to go off skew with. Maybe add your tape all the way around. That way it might just give you that strength to hold it in place. Oops. There we go. Now I'm going to tie it in a bow. Perfect, yeah. Add it all the way around. Oops, I want to go that way because I want the tail at the bottom. And now they're upside down. Why do I always tie upside down? And the, oh, that's so cute. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, it will be when I've finished messing around. That is just lush. Can add a bit of tape there as well, or a glue dot even, to keep that tail in the right position. So, get your tails now wherever you want them. Just add a glue dot to keep it pointing in the right direction. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love it. So this box now is humongous. I've got some. Oh, look at these. I'm going to add a strip either side on these. These were just things that were gifted to me and I've just found in the cupboard this afternoon. You can bling these up as big as you want. Isn't that gorgeous? A little bit on the other side. OMG, how cute is that? Love it. Could be a bit more straighter, but not bad, not bad, considering it's only the second one I've made this side. So this measures 7 by 3 by 7, and it's 5 inches tall, so it's a substantial size box. What do you reckon? Do you like it? I love it. Make a great present. Can you imagine filling that? Knowing you could give that to somebody as a present filled with cards. Oh my gosh, man, that is like a Christmas present type thing. Give somebody that at Christmas and they've got the birthday cards sorted for the whole year. Just even if you put 2 in for every month. You know, if they've got more birthdays, they can always add to it. You can keep the index cards then for the following year, because there's no dates apart from days, but there's no years on there, so absolutely beautiful. Love these. That bow's quite cute, but yeah, we got there. Because that's on dimensionals, you can tuck them behind even. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. My handwriting's atrocious, mind. But there we go. If you want to make yourselves 2 of those beautiful, massive boxes with a bit of bling and decoration, you're more than welcome. I'm terrible, but I'll try and put the measurements either in the description bar below or I'll do it on the blog. Please don't hold me to it though. Right, I'm going to love and leave you all. I'd love a thumbs up. Just going to let you admire that gorgeous box again. So pretty. And it's got 20 cards in there and 5 inserts, so I reckon, and if it depends on the depth of your card as well. If you're doing standard cards with not too much bulk on, I think you would get up to 30 in there then probably. But how beautiful is that designer series paper? So there is my humongous birthday card holder box, and all this for my gorgeous friend Carla. In fact, she's not just a friend, she's like a sister to me. I love her to bits. So, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye.